A Wizard of True Star was Todd Rundgren's fourth solo album. It was both technologically and artistically groundbreaking at the time of its release in March 1973. Todd played nearly every instrument on the album and wrote it after experimenting with psychedelic drugs. Like other progressive rock albums that emerged in the 1970s, every song flowed sonically without any gaps, like an episode of the comedy sketch show, Mr. Show. Artistically, it had no bounds, and Todd was uncompromising about its release. There were no singles, and none of the songs were formatted for radio play. Todd claims to have lost about half of his fan base because it was too weird. Now, however, that doesn't mean that the music wasn't radio-friendly. There's tons of amazing music on this album with strong melodies, adventurous chord changes, and covers of popular R&B soul tracks. The packaging is also creatively die-cut, and the cover artwork is definitely out there. Technologically, it remains the longest single-disc record ever released. The side effect of this is relatively poor sound quality, which I find to be pretty unpleasant. But on days when I can get past the crushing mid-range, lack of bass, and tinny treble, I absolutely love this record. There is so much going on with respect to effects and soundcraft that the album was never performed live until 2009, when he was backed by a very large band with nice hardware and a lot of costumes. In October 2020, Todd released a wonderful DVD and CD package, right here, from that tour, containing a full live performance from Akron, Ohio. Now, despite the lack of Blu-ray high definition, the DVD picture quality is absolutely fantastic and the performance is wonderful. However, the audio CD should just be tossed because for some weird reason the songs are poorly edited with fades between each song, disrupting the entire seamless flow from one piece to another. The mix is great though and brought me back to the Los Angeles show I attended on that tour. And to be honest, I was in tears watching the DVD because the music is so great and special, and during COVID, this DVD was this warm reminder of the life we used to have. It filled me with hope for a return to concerts, crowds, and travel. But I digress. I never thought I'd get to hear a quality recording and performance of this entire album, and the DVD really delivers on that. Before Todd toured the album, I even thought about reproducing it myself, and I recorded the entire first track, International Feel. Here's a clip.
Here we are again, the start of the end, but there's more, I only wanna see if you'll give up on me, but there's always more. International feel, interplanetary deals, interstellar appeals, universal ideals, international feel.
Now, as much as I love A Wizard of True Star and could go on and on and on about it, that's not why we're here. We are here to talk about an excellent modern album that I consider to be an artistic successor. It retains many of the same qualities, including unbounded stream of consciousness music performed entirely by one musician, beautiful artwork and packaging, less than fantastic audio quality, influence of drugs, catchy melodies, cacophonous sound effects, and a fan base splitting release. That album is called Hissing Fauna, Are You the Destroyer? By a band called Of Montreal. It came out in 2007, and I remember stumbling across it on an old music streaming service back in the day. The first two tracks, Suffer for Fashion and Sink the Seine, have been earworms for me all these years. One track in particular, Bunny Ain't No Kind of Rider, is so catchy, I basically had to stop listening after getting sick of myself playing it so much. Hissing Fauna explores musician Kevin Barnes' depression while living in Norway in the early 2000s. It includes his musical transition into his glam rock alter ego, Georgie Fruit. This transition takes place during a 12-minute electronic drum meditation on affirmations, dealing with the problems of real life, and trying to find a way out. Honestly, I don't think I can listen to the whole 12-minute epic very much, but the rest of the album is really great. Polyvinyl Records re-released a special edition of Hissing Fauna in 2020 with beautiful colored vinyl. I bought it and fell in love with the music all over again. Now, a lot of people might comment on the record's creativity and musical exploration, but for me, I can't help but hear it through the lens of A Wizard, a True Star. Now, I have no idea whether Barnes was inspired by Rundgren or even knew about A Wizard, a True Star. Both these records have such parallels that I'm either being an insightful music writer or just totally biased and closed-minded. I have no idea. I know there are a ton of people who watch this channel who really love Rundgren's album, and I want to encourage them to check out Hissing Fauna. And there are probably a bunch of people who haven't even heard either record, so I want to encourage those people to check out both. So if you've never heard A Wizard, a True Star, I recommend starting with the live performance DVD. It's such a treat and a completely unique live musical performance. Plus, it doesn't suffer from the original release's terrible sound. You can find it on Todd's Bandcamp page. You can also buy Hissing Fauna on vinyl, CD, and of course, audio cassette. Let me know what you think of these records in the comments, and if there's some other artistic album that might be a successor in a similar way, I'd love to hear about it. I love A Wizard, a True Star, and I love these kinds of concept records with really long, whatever, musical experiences. So yeah, leave a comment, let me know, and hope you enjoy.